course, 60% of our live events are being done for the first 3 months of next year. And Tom is here to tell people about where we are, plus one extra month of April.
Yeah, we sure do. We invite you to check out our live theater shows if there's one near you. If there's not, jump on a plane, come on. We're going to hit the beautiful Booth Playhouse on Saturday, April 19th. And then we're going to go to
Both Small Pet Hay or Care Fresh Bedding. Shop more incredible deals in store and online at PetSmart.ca.
Greenhouse gas pollution heats the planet
and threatens our nature.
Canada's carbon price is designed to reduce this pollution in order to protect our environment.
And the Canada Carbon Rebate gives money back to Canadians.
In Ontario, an individual gets $560 this year, with a bonus for those in rural areas.
Have it both ways with the Canada Carbon Rebate. Find out how it works and...
for, frankly, is to have a Mookie Betts type player on your team. So I think all of that makes sense. Again, I am just wondering why it's taking so long for other teams to do exactly what the Dodgers are doing.
Scared of risk. They're scared of future risk.
Yeah.
You see, when your front office has got a 5-year contract, right, they're worried about 5 years. They're not worried about the long run. Guys like Magic Johnson, they have $1 billion already.
Called the Blitz and Blitz. It's a good show. You should check it out.
I listen to Zach a lot.
Wow!
But Zach and I have always had a very interesting dynamic.
You don't like him, right?
I did not say that. I do like Zach Gelb. I think that
that perspective, I think he's within his right.
That's the biggest question is who you're hiring. If you're going to fire McCarthy's a good football coach. He's won there. He's done those things. Who are you hiring? Are you hiring Dion? Okay. Are we hiring Bill Belichick? Are we hiring Mike Vrabel? Like, who are we hiring?
Bretelles dans l'échangeur des autoroutes 10 et 30. Là. Alors, 30 Est pour la...
However, Canada has already lowered the amount of permanent residents that it's going to take every year, and they plan to drop the number every single year for the next 5 years, so less and less people are going to be able to legally move to Canada as well.
Well, legal or not. And there's no excuses for it. That's not an excuse. Or she had to because she went, no, stop. No.
Yeah.
You don't have to take positions on
No,
them.
I looked at someone's actions. I don't care about excuses. I don't care about any talk at all. It's what they've done.
And now when you look at what he said on True Social about tariffs, 25%.
And robbing their occupants, Superman and Batman have traced a single clue to a 16-year-old boy named Billy Riggs. Then, following the boy's trail, they tracked him to the home of Spider Gans, a Paris-based man who runs a gymnasium and who is really the brains behind the monkey burglars' operations. But when they arrived at Spider's home, hopeful of finding Robin there, they found the place empty. Discouraged and worried for the safety of his young companion, Batman turned to Kent and said,
"We're too late, Superman. I'm afraid now we'll never see Robin alive again."
Batman is nearly right, for at this moment, Robin, securely bound and gagged, lies on...
The answer is you can. It records more heart data than any smartwatch at a fraction of the cost. And now, for a limited time, you can get the Cardio Mobile 6L for its lowest price ever, just $99. That's it. There's no better gift for yourself or your loved one this holiday season for just $99. No better price.
Plums. No idea what that is. The new Festive Faves meal. A merry $8.99. Only at Subway. At participating Canadian restaurants. Extras additional. Terms and conditions apply.
By the fireplace.
The Media Food Drive presents A Story of Hunger.
And for just $99, no better place. Go to Cardia.com. It's KARDIA.com or Amazon.com to order the... or Amazon.com to order the Cardio Mobile 6L today. For those of us holding our breath for the past several months, we can exhale. Work can finally be done on the major issues this country is facing, and one of the most significant being our national debt. The fact is, our nation is broke, and that debt is a house of cards that can't quickly be dismantled. So the strategy remains the same. Diversify your savings. So many things are out of control, it's important to have a safe haven for your savings. Birch Gold Group will help you convert an IRA.
Donc, c'est Simon qui en parle. C'est vous qui le proposez, parce que c'est quand même délicat là, de dire, bon, on est face à quelqu'un qui est en fin de vie.
C'est probablement nous. Nous sommes les réalisateurs, donc on voyait probablement un film à faire avec eux.
Mais c'est quand même... est-ce que c'est difficile à demander à quelqu'un?
Ben, c'est sûr qu'on les a rencontrés, on a trouvé ça touchant, on a su l'histoire d'amour aussi, parce qu'il y a la maladie, mais aussi on était très touchés par leur histoire d'amour. Marianne, ça faisait un an et demi.
It was on ESPN, 86-78, the final in overtime.
Arguing with this for years on that. On the run.
By the way, I have a couple of additional links about terrible severe trouble.
Found somebody. The only matchup in the Bahamas that raised
Felt very, very confident attacking those bigs inside in Gonzaga. And if Gonzaga doesn't get that short up fairly quick, a lot of teams are going to feel that way.
Gonzaga losing as the number 3 team in the country wasn't the only matchup in the Bahamas that raised some eyebrows.
What a convincing, dominant performance by the Louisville Cardinals.
They're trying to do is that they're trying to, in some ways, redirect trade or redirect investments toward their own country. So they might be well putting tariffs, and that uncertainty, or even just uncertainty of having tariffs, might actually divert investment in Canada away. So it's that we need to take into account is that even if we don't have any tariff, that uncertainty can also have a negative impact on Canada.
Meaning that if you're in the outer sector and you wanted to perhaps put your plant in Canada for some of the reasons that we've seen companies put their plants in Canada, that maybe the uncertainty would mean that you wouldn't do that. You would just put it in the United States?
Yeah, instead of, let's say you're a manufacturer of auto parts, instead of building in Windsor, you're building in Detroit, just across the bridge. It might be, in normal time, it would have been more profitable to do it in Canada.
That's fine, but past that, I feel like if you're not ready for the climb with the stuff you bring along with you, yes, you are going to ruin it. Yes, we have that potential outcome of the mountain's done. And I never want that to be an eventuality. One person can make a huge difference, especially if that person works in accounting. Hear about a $150 million scandal in our next take.
38 before rain reaches the area through the midday hours and lasts into the...
You have to tell me how you do it. And so they did a horrendous job of defensive transition. To me, they showed no toughness. They showed the lack of leadership. They showed a lack of attention to detail. Look, this is just one game. But that was an embarrassing effort for Indiana basketball. It was an embarrassing effort for a team that everyone says, like you just said, 13th in the country, they didn't compete.
July 16th, or in July, I should say, of 16 charges, including bribery. He awaits sentencing in Manhattan federal court. Menendez resigned from the Senate in August. At trial, prosecutor said Menendez accepted gold and cash from 3 New Jersey businessmen. For a lot of people, Thanksgiving's all about that home cook.
The Grim Reaper's going to come sit on the couch with you. And the way you got to take on aging is don't stop living. You got to have new goals, new activities. This whole lifelong learning process that I've been involved in when I was busy in the higher education realms, in colleges and higher education software platforms. Those things, that keeping the mind busy and doing new stuff, travel and so forth, those are really just wonderful age extension on aging. Is don't stop living. You got to have new goals, new activities. This whole lifelong learning process that those are really just wonderful age extension strategies.
It's critical. I told my dad when he retired at 60 from the Ford Motor Company, I said, Dad, keep busy. Right after you retire, 60's young. And he lasted until he was 88. Had he not fallen, George, I think he could have gone much longer. My mother's 95 and is still going strong. But there's something to be said about keeping your mind active.
For Gold Gun, which means everything you need to know. Go to colonialmetalsgroup.com/strong or call 800-747-6589. That's 800-747-6589 for your free Gold Guide and to learn if you
grade that you'd be most worried about not being achievable, about what's on that list.
Yeah, I think so. I think those are because it requires so much being built, and there's, again, there's a lot of pushback from people who don't like to see changes to their landscapes, and their homes.
Yeah, the NIMBYs.
The NIMBYs, yeah.
And where Keir Starmer was one of the only two G7 leaders to speak at COP, I wonder what you read into that. Is it more about the global position on the climate?
Bugs and dialing back, you'll have less and be happy with it, and that kind of talk. But what's interesting is I wanted to sit down, methodically go through what we as a society have. What's interesting is I wanted to sit down, methodically
change the flavor of that relationship. But if the saltiness issue said, what good is it? Except we...
The three networks, there's 10 everyone still watches them. We'll scream in.
For example.
I'll definitely be happy with doing that edition.
People reality, these complications, forget the terrorists. They matches, but now.
Palestiniens occupés, je crois qu'il est difficile de remettre en cause la compétence de la Cour. Vous savez, cet argument-là, c'est vraiment reprendre l'argument de Netanyahou lui-même.
And to our spiritual director, Father Sam Martin, as we are talking about spiritual direction on the show. It's all about spiritual direction. Father Martin, an email came in.
It appears that she's crying, and you asked why are you crying, and she said I'm crying, and it sounds so much like Our Lady of Fatima. I'm crying
Come past Central Avenue. Once you clear the accident scene, the ride out past Annapolis Road to the 95 interchange and on into Montgomery County is running without difficulty. Another accident that's still active is in Prince George's County, westbound Route 50 over by Landover Road. This activity along the far right shoulder, you might notice some flashing lights, but the travel lanes are open, both sides of 50 between the city line and the Bay Bridge, so you find no delays anywhere. The accident...
What it must do, Tesla did all of these charging...
And awesome on that. I know they deal with a lot of crap, and I know they deal with a lot of bad calls. I really appreciate the screen callers.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you have one of the best ever. Right now, that guy's completely.
Oh, Carlos,
okay.
you get no argument from me there, man. I would take Carlos any day of the week working alongside of him, man. He makes it fun. He keeps it light. He's a positive guy. He works his ass off. Man. He knows sports. He's great on the air.
MediumWave.com. Discount code REDEYE3.
Attention, are you or a loved one suffering complications after taking Ozempic or Wegovy? These medications may be linked to serious gastrointestinal illnesses. If you've been hospitalized and diagnosed with gastroparesis, chronic vomiting, deep vein thrombosis, or experienced intestinal blockage requiring surgery, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call.
J'ai fermé les lumières. Cette première écoute-là a été très, très... C'est-à-dire, je regardais pas un film.